Today, I'm going to be showing you guys how and why I started consuming less and creating more. I found it so easy to scroll and just so easy to just get lost in. I'd load up TikTok and scroll for literal hours just on end, being consumed by these short form videos. It almost felt like a drug. After I was done, it just left me craving more. I tried deleting TikTok. Well, I actually did delete TikTok a while ago. It was about a month ago. I found myself getting on TikTok, scrolling, being consumed in it, and I'd scroll for about, an hour or two, not realize the time that went by, get off my app, and then I'd find myself just pulling back out my phone, opening TikTok, and just wanting to scroll some more. And there'd be also so many times where I open up Instagram, I'd scroll my feed, look at what my friends are doing, scroll some Instagram reels, close out of Instagram, and then not even like 5 seconds later, reopen Instagram. And it was like a force of habit where I just wanted to get more of Instagram, more of that dopamine fix, more of that, just that hit. And it felt like a drug to me. I recently re-downloaded TikTok, like I said before. I'd be scrolling, I'd get off of it. I honestly did just find myself more angry. And I think it's because of that like addiction, and I also found myself doing so much less. I found myself striving for less, because why would I want to go out and do something or strive for excellence when that instant hit of dopamine is just one scroll away, and it's just I can pull it right out of my pocket and just get that instant dopamine hit. This is the reason why I started creating more. And since I've created more, I know obviously I do still go on social media. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm just completely detoxed of social media. Social media detox is a good way of just clearing your system of all that, but I do find myself every once in a while on Instagram, mainly YouTube, and that's just for mainly researching YouTube video ideas, watching what's going on in the world. And I know a lot of people's biggest fear with uninstalling TikTok, uninstalling Instagram, all of those social media platforms is the FOMO. You're gonna miss something big happening. You're gonna miss some big news, something going on. Because that's actually how a lot of people get the news. They see what's going on. And, I'm guilty of that. When Hurricane Helene came through here, I live in North Carolina. Hurricane Helene hit last September, and I found out that it was coming from TikTok. I was scrolling on my feed, and a live stream popped up about Hurricane Helene, and I was like, oh, what is this? And that's how I found out that a life-changing hurricane was coming towards me. And I completely understand that. I 100% agree. But I can tell you guys now that since I deleted TikTok, limited my Instagram access, all of that, I actually feel better not having all of these, natural disasters pop up in my news feed, or, all these bad things, because a lot of the news is actually bad. It's just natural disasters, crime. It's a lot of bad, and my life's a lot more peaceful without knowing that. Like, yeah, sure, I don't know that whoever is going to war with whoever, but in my mind, I'm a lot more peaceful not knowing other countries' conflicts. But anyways, I got a little off task there, but I've started to create more. I very much enjoy talking to a screen. I like talking to people. I like talking about, what I'm passionate in. One of my big things that I'm passionate about is investing. It's creating YouTube videos, and I decided to put both of those together and create YouTube videos about investing. Now that I created videos, I've made a routine for myself. When I get home from work, I make a video in my car right after work. I get home, hit a workout, take a quick shower, plan YouTube videos for the next day. I now have a routine where I'm not constantly scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, because that'll take away from my routine. I started this with a detox, a social media detox. I needed to get out of my system and just show myself that it's not the end of the world when I delete it. It's not going to be the worst thing that I don't have TikTok or Instagram. So I deleted all of my social medias, my Instagram, my TikTok, my Facebook. I deleted everything. And I'll tell you, it was very peaceful not having notifications, not feeling obligated to respond to somebody, not feeling obligated to, not scrolling my feed and seeing that all my friends from high school or in Miami partying. That's another thing. A lot of people scroll TikTok or Instagram and see these, whether they're friends or just random people online, and they make comparisons to themselves. You're like, oh, if only I was in Miami, I'd be happy. Or, oh, if only I had this money, I'd be happy. Comparison is the thief of joy. If you keep comparing yourself to other people like that, you will never find true happiness. You will never be happy if there's always going to be something that you want, and always going to be something that you think is going to make you happier. So I found peace with creation, and I found peace with having my social media deleted. You know, it's a lot more peaceful, and I've put my trust in God. I found peace. You know, I've welcomed Jesus into my heart, and I feel full. You know, that money, investing, YouTube videos, none of that will fill that hole that you're looking to fill in your heart as much as the Lord will. So put your trust in the Lord. Try for excellence, guys. Stay consistent and just keep investing. If you guys haven't already, just try to delete it for just, you know, try to go a day without it, you know, 2 days without it. It's like breaking any addiction, because it is truly an addiction. And if you're telling yourself that it's not an addiction, you're addicted. Thank you guys so much for watching. And that's how I stopped consuming and started creating more. Thank you guys for watching.